Oh, hello, Andy. How are you doing?
I'm really good, thank you very much. How the devil are you today?
Oh, I feel great. I recently came back from another dream holiday, and even though it's raining today, I feel really good.
Excellent. Well, it's not raining here at the moment, although it was blue sky, but they've chemtrailed the shit out of it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Someone is playing with the settings today.
Yeah, I always think there's a little man sitting there with a little dial thinking, what can we give him today? Oh, let's give him a bit of wind, bit of
Yeah,
rain,
yeah.
or let's make it a chemtrail. Yeah.
And the thing is, they're actually, when you say something like this to a 3D person, as I call them, and
Mm,
they are like, "Oh, show me the proof." Well, there's plenty of proof online. They're not even hiding it, by the way.
no,
So
no.
yeah, the
What I
primary.
always refer back to especially with the chemtrails, I always refer back to what they did in Spain. Is the government actually came out in 2022, I think it was, and actually confirmed what it is they're actually spraying in the skies.
Oh,
So the Spanish government have admitted in a court that yes, they do actually spray us with pesticides, aluminium, strontium, barium, all stuff for oh, what's the word? I can't remember the actual words they use, but it's almost like they're trying to hide, put it in plain sight, but not use words of depopulation type thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Well, yeah, because I think I've said this to you before. They believe in karma. So
hmm
if they tell us what they're gonna do, but because we don't believe it, karma sits with us.
Yep.
And because what they're planning on doing is so unbelievably unbelievable that no one actually believes it.
No, that's
But
crazy.
yeah, and because I've been researching ingredients for, foods and cosmetics for years, and God, I know what they put in this stuff.
I know it's absolute madness. And yet people even the most stupid thing that gets me is after I do it because sometimes it's convenient. We still all go to the supermarkets or we still
Yeah.
go to the store on the street to get our food, and yet we know what's in it
Oh,
because we just haven't got the space or whatever we need to grow our own food.
yeah, and that is all by design. I mean,
Mm,
I still go to the supermarket, unfortunately.
yep,
I must admit, I don't shop as many things as I used to.
same.
I recently found a website that delivers milk to your door.
Oh, cool.
So, it's not ideal because, I still have to pay online. I'd rather pay cash to someone.
Yeah.
But I buy my fruit and veg from the local market and my eggs, and I buy meat from the local butcher, and I pay cash.
hmm
Um, so, there is always a way. I suppose there's always a way. You just have to be willing to find that way, because why support a corporation when you can support a local business
Mm. Or alternatively, support yourself.
or support yourself? Yeah, I have a small garden. I can't grow
Mm.
anything.
No. This is why we refer back to the community. What we're trying to do out in Spain, in what Woody and Kirsty's been doing out on the finca out there, is returning the farmed land because the farmers destroy the mycelium network with all
Yeah,
their rotivating plant or whatever. So they're creating deserts. I mean, when you think the Sahara was never a desert, it was a lush greenland. It was
yeah,
an oasis. But through Cain and Abel, basically, if you know the story of them, basically one was a tiller, one was a shepherd. The
mm,
tiller destroyed the land, which is
yeah,
basically what farming actually does.
yeah.
If you just throw your seeds on the ground where it's damp, things will grow. You
Oh
don't
yeah,
need to
yeah, yeah.
put these lovely, pretty lines in. That's just corporation.
Well, how do you think we survived back in the day? There was
Exactly.
there was no supermarkets, and
No.
my grandparents lived a long life eating food from the garden.
Mm,
I used to eat fruit and veg from the garden. I didn't even
mm.
wash them. There's nothing wrong with me.
I still don't wash them, but I think my body can heal anything that comes into it anyway. This is the most ultimate filtration system we can ever
Yeah,
have.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And it's
absolutely.
down to your intention and how you put it into your body. If you
Yeah,
just say, "Oh, this is whatever," if you put, I mean, even now, I mean, I got a cup of tea. It's made with water from the tap, and it's made with it's got oatmeal. And people say, "You drink water from the tap?" I said, "Why not?" They said, "But all the poison." I said, "But I can change the structure of water with just my thoughts." I can
That
change the
is true.
molecular structure of it all. So every time I drink something, it's my intention of how I drink it. So I don't worry about drinking tap water like that because I've been doing it for nearly 60 years. So why would I worry about it now?
Yeah, yeah.
I
True,
just
that
know
is
that my
true. Yeah.
this tool we have here has everything we need to heal. We don't. Tom Barnett, if you ever look at, if anybody goes and looks up Tom Barnett Australia, watch his videos. The guy's absolutely amazing. He eats raw meat. He shows you how things that everybody says you've got salmonella on chicken. It there isn't. There's no such thing as
No.
salmonella. It's just another fear factor. All these
Yeah.
chemicals in water. Everybody's buying distillers. Everybody's buying this. You got kidneys for Christ's sake. He said they are your filters. He said change the structure. Watch Masura Emoto. Sorry, I'm waffling.
No, keep going, keep going. That's the whole
But
point of this conversation, just to
But
talk.
but yeah, but it's like when you watch a Masuramoto, where how he changed the structure of water with and then frozen, you saw the difference in the crystals, purely with love and one with hate, and the same with rice. You put a
Yeah.
bag of rice out and bombard it with hate, and hate goes black, whereas the normal rice won't if you shower it with love.
Do you know, I've noticed this when I use essential oils in my diffuser. If
Hmm.
I feel impatient for some reason, come on, come on. It doesn't, nothing is coming out of the bottle. But when I relax and take few deep breaths,
Yeah,
no problem
because
whatsoever.
it's a fluid, it's a
Yeah.
water-based fluid. So therefore, at the end of the day, we are intrinsically linked with water. So if you don't give it the right message, it's going to say to you, "Ah,
Yeah.
not doing it."
Sort of. Um, right. So since last time we spoke, I think you built this new website of yours after our last conversation.
That was a while
And
back.
say that again.
That was a while back.
That was a while back. Yeah, now. And I was just wondering, how things work now with the new website, because now it's a bit more restricted, I've noticed, which I think
Hmm.
it's better.
Hmm.
Because there are a lot of dark energies out there.
Oh yes.
And yeah, if someone wants to reach out, how do they do it?
Okay, so the website is a private members website. It's not a full private members association yet, but it will be. We're going down the road to get all the documentation sorted out, so it gives us 100% protection. But with it being private members only or private subscription, it means that we're hiding a lot from the social media. We're hiding a lot from the public, which is where we do not want our paperwork or anything to be. So we've set everything up in there. Members can join. There's a small subscription charge if they want to join. If they want to reach out and contact me, they just contact me via my email address as normal. I've always said to people, I will always be available for contact. I'm busy. I can't always respond immediately, but you can still reach me via email. I tell people, please don't message me on social media like Facebook Messenger. I don't read them. I'm too
Yeah.
busy. I'll just say to people, have a little bit of respect and courtesy and just say, I'll drop an email. So that's how I do it now.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Even when sometimes I message you on WhatsApp, but I'm thinking, oh,
Yeah, but that's
he's probably too busy or has forgotten. So I message you again. No bad intentions. You have.
no. It's literally if you saw my WhatsApp that currently there's 190 plus messages on there, and
Oh,
I go through WhatsApp when I can. I have my favorites listed to my favorites, so I know. Like when you message me, I think, yep, I've got to respond to you, but then I get busy and I get
yeah.
engrossed in another case, and then it just I go, oh, I forgot to message Yana.
Oh, that's all right. I'm not one of these people who would.
But the whole idea of the community website is that it. It's a community.
Yeah, yeah,
It's it.
yeah.
We got currently we started off. We're just going to be coming up for our year anniversary in April. We currently got 212 members, which is great. A lot of people said you should have thousands. Don't want thousands
No,
because you can't control that.
no.
We have a great community where we have like-minded people. So the nucleus of the website is purely legal and lawful. We know that. That's what everybody's trying to do at this moment in time. But we're trying to step away a little bit from that, sidestep it. Say, people, look, don't always worry about the legal and lawful stuff. Think about other things. Think about your health. Think about homeschooling. Think about what you could be doing to support a local business. We have a whole raft of local businesses on there. So all people who've got their own stuff, they want to trade with you. We have healers, we have doulas, we have so much coming on there at the moment. So we're increasing that. We've just introduced the new I Am Health. So we're having people going to be coming on board talking about healthy products. So if it's something you want to discuss and run a Zoom on, happily let you come and do a Zoom on there for the whole community so people can see what you can do and what you can offer. We want to just make it a full inclusive community.
Yeah.
There's no leaders, there's no people in charge. yes, I founded it, but I don't look at myself as a guru, a leader, or a judge, because that's just going down the road of what everyone
Yeah,
else is doing. Look at me, I'm in charge, it's my group. No, I don't do that. Everybody has a voice, and that's the most
yeah,
important thing.
yeah. And that's good. That's good. Yeah, I could do that because I would love to help more people. Because part of the well, you can't really fight the system, but sort of part of going around the system, as I like to
Mm.
call it, is working on your mindset. And people, there's still a lot of fear, and I can
Oh,
feel that people are more and more people are waking up, but there's still a lot of fear. And the main fear that I hear about is if a debt collector knocks on someone's door. And the thing is, I mean, I know from personal experience now, it's just empty threats.
yep. It's what I've been saying for the last 2.5 years.
Yeah.
No one has authority over you except that
No.
which you give away. The minute you say answer their questions, you're in contract.
Yeah,
Simple as
yeah,
that. So answer questions with questions.
yeah. And it's funny how when you challenge them and they get really angry. Well, you so some schmuck that I've never met in my life is gonna knock on my door, interfere with my personal space and
Mhm.
peace, and I'm gonna confirm who I am. No.
No, sorry, you don't come into my life and dictate your terms to me, mate. You
Yeah,
come,
and
I'll dictate my terms to you.
I don't know if you're, I'm sure you remember when you were a little kid. And my mom used to tell me never speak to strangers. What happened with that?
Exactly. Exactly. Says it all. The way society's gone, it's driven everywhere to speak.
Oh,
It's fine. Just go along with the flow. Oh, you can't say this because you're going to offend someone. Or you can't do this because
so
it's not politically correct. Oh, shove that where the sun don't
yeah,
shine.
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
say what
yeah,
I want.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I can
that's
never.
that's that's one of the problems. People don't want to be seen as rude or mean. That's why they open the door and they talk to people or let them in their house. Oh, can you
I know.
imagine?
I know. It's madness. I only talk to people I want to talk to
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it's my life, my energy, and I'll do what I want with it, and no one can ever take that away from me.
And also the authorities is well they're not really authorities but anyway when they send their letters and they say to you oh you can't ignore that this is a law this is we can trespass anytime we want says who
I know.
and they're making these ridiculous claims and this is something you taught me the claims that they're making you have to question them because otherwise they do whatever
It
they
goes
want.
it goes down to the original. It's one of the things I always use. There's several maxims I use. Anyone who makes a claim against you must provide the evidence.
Mm,
So when a police officer stops you and says you were speeding, well, that's hearsay. Where's the evidence?
yeah,
Well, I saw you. Okay, are your eyes trained to calibrate the speed of a vehicle? Do
yeah,
you have night vision? Do you know what I mean? These are the sort of questions I ask people, and people look at me and laugh and go, "What?" But when it
yeah,
comes to debt collectors, they do want to come and engage with you. They do want to say, "We need you to talk to us because we need to sort this out." Sorry, who are you?
yeah,
Well, where's so and so from Marston's? I don't give a toss. Did you have an appointment to be here today? Well, no. You do realise that I only accept things by appointments. I did put it in a notice to you guys. This is a correspondence only address, and it must be done by appointment. You've just breached my appointment, so therefore you're now going to be charged £5,000. Can I have your name and details, please?
uh-huh.
And then they go, they soon
Yeah,
back off.
yeah. Give them a taste of their own medicine. But do you know, there's something I would like to ask. So, when you
Go
send
for it.
letters to, I don't know, let's say the council, and you tell them these are my terms and conditions, blah blah blah. So, how come they need to agree with your terms and conditions and you don't? Is it because you s- you say that you are a free man or woman and they're a corporation?
This is where I think we go wrong, is we all spouting, I'm a free man of the land and all this lot. But you're you're talking to a corporation.
Sorry, living man or woman. What am I
Yeah,
talking?
yeah, no. But a lot of people you still use freeman on the land, which is BS as far as I'm concerned. Um, so when people are writing to a corporation, they still don't get the fact that it's only your entity that can talk to another entity. So you there sitting in there, so I turn around and say, I'll do something completely different. I'll say, oh, good day to you. Hope you're well. I believe you're trying to engage in contract with Andrew Sean Barlow. I act on behalf of Andrew Sean Bartlett. My name's Andy. If you'd like to deal with Andrew Sean Bartlett, the person, we're more than happy to engage in conversation with you. Here are my terms and here are my fees. Should you wish to proceed, you need to agree these before we go any further. Any more unsolicited communications will now be deemed as chargeable, and you will be charged £1,000 per communication.
Ah, right.
So
Okay.
what I've done there is I've switched it.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
So
yeah.
basically, instead of doing all these conditional acceptances, I just go straight back now and say, thank you very much. You're trying to engage in communication. So I've turned it around because that's what they're trying to do to you. They've thrown their hook out to try and, with their bait on, for you to catch it. So you return it back to them. Say, here's my bait. Do you want to catch it?
Yeah, yeah.
Then they come around, they say, we do not agree with your terms and conditions. Well, thank you very much. We do not agree with either of yours. So therefore, we can proceed no further. Under contract law, if there's no agreement, there is no contract. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, it's very simple, isn't it? People just need to grow up hair, I suppose.
Well, it's born down from the fact that we've all done these three notice processes.
Yeah.
Every group in the country is still pushing these and peddling these all over the place. Some charging an absolute bloody fortune for them. So the government and these companies now come back and say, well, actually, we're going to say to you this, this is a template. Really? Well, so it's yours. Do you know what I mean? But we've got to get away from these templates. We've got to get away from the fact that everyone's using three notice process. Everyone's using this process of PCNs. They're using we've got to stop. It's got to come from here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
if you don't put your own words and intention into your letter, I don't call them notices anymore. I call them letters because it is literally a letter. So I just write what I want now and put what I want. I create the basics and then I go, hmm. If anybody's on my website, they've seen what my response to Marston's was, and they've just run away. They've just disappeared from the face of the earth now with us. Oh, yeah, there lots of sweary words in here, lots of see you next Tuesday words and all sorts from there. So yeah,
All
lots of,
right.
and I told them straight, you've broken every rule going, so therefore I will see you in court. And I've heard nothing from them for the last 6 weeks.
Right. So, okay, so because I use your templates, but so
Hmm.
does that mean that I don't have to use them?
See, this is where I'm changing because while I still think the three notice process does have a place, because there's so many out there, these
Mm.
companies are fed up with them. So we've got to switch it up. So I always refer back to the Queen song, Play the Game. When you listen to the lyrics, it tells you how to play the game, play it with love. So this is why I thought, okay, let's come from a different angle. So I have this notice of acceptance to contract, which goes out to which is one I now, which we're testing at the moment. It's not available for everyone yet, but we're testing it. But I've also now redoing the three notice process. So instead of just being straight through, it's coming from the heart space, but it's also coming with the support of God, because
Mm.
God is my witness. So it's coming from the divine and it's using, I am a man free of the land, not on the land, because I'm of the land. So I'm free man of the land, or free woman of the land, etc. And it's all done in Old English. So there's no modern speak. It's
Yeah.
all, we thank you for thy missive. So basically, it's a letter. So I'm putting it back into Old English, which is how we should be speaking.
Yeah.
Our English language has been corrupted. So let's
Hmm.
go back with something. Most people laugh at it when they read it. They go, this guy's a nutter. But why not play the game? Let's play
Yeah.
something different.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
they don't understand it, 9 times out of 10, the one you're writing back to is just an AI computer. And that AI
Yeah.
computer will not really understand what we're doing.
Exactly. Yeah. 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 I've been meaning. I think I said this to you, but I've been meaning to call various debt collectors and see if I can sell um debt just for the fun of it, just to see what
You
they're
can.
going to say. Yeah. Yeah.
You'd have to go down the road of creating, in my opinion, it might be wrong, but what we've done it, and what we've won, is create a statutory demand. It's free to do. You then file an N215 with the local county court with your statutory demand, 28 days after you've sent the SD out. Once it's filed with the court will then grant a judgment. So once you've got that judgment, that default judgment means you can then go to a debt collector. That's using their system. You
Yeah.
can create your own default judgment. I've got a copy of one I've done myself. So I'll say, well, you failed, so there's a default judgment under contract, blah, blah, blah. And then you can go to a debt collector and say, this company has failed to pay their bills. So therefore, I would like you to take it over. And they'll buy it off you for pennies.
Oh,
But
that's
you won't get you. For
go on.
me, it's just let's get someone else out there. So if we could
Yeah.
do this, but it takes a lot more people to do it than just one or two.
Yeah. Because when I looked at a few websites, and some of them give you the option to tick whether you have a, what did you call that judgment thing?
Default judgment.
Default judgment, yeah. So I'm not sure if it's a requirement for every debt collector or not. I suppose I just need to start
No, it's
going through
not. I
them.
mean, you can engage a debt collector to look after any debt. It does not have to be a default judgment against it. But it's always better to have one because that gives it a lot more clout when
Yeah.
they're going after it. They'll get their money quicker.
So this is something I can actually work with you on,
Of
I
course you can.
suppose. Yeah, it's not that I want any money or anything. I just want to have a bit of fun and a bit of practice because, I've been treated unfairly in the past,
Hmm.
and I I I I just want to stand up for myself, and I think everybody should do that because
Oh,
that's
great.
one of the big problems that we have is um one of the biggest problems that we have is that we don't stand up for ourselves. What happened? Everybody's whining, they're being bullied. Well, why do you allow it?
Exactly. Exactly. And the fear comes from the problem. A lot of people are still in the system. We know that a lot of people are working. A lot of people need a credit reference. They need all this. Let's be honest. Now, the problem with a lot of the truth scene has done is they've got all these people do these lovely, wonderful processes.
Mm,
Now people have got black marks against their name. They can't get loans, they can't get a mortgage, they can't get credit, and they weren't told this. And that's one thing I've always said to people, you've got to look into your things before you go down this road.
yeah,
Are you happy to have a CCJ registered against you? Me, I've got as how many CCJs against me because I just don't care. I do not need credit. What I do is, as you know, I barter and I trade. So, but those people who are trying to do these processes and they are fearful because of what could happen, then you shouldn't be doing it. Simple as
yeah,
that. Don't go down just because some guy said to you, don't pay your council tax, don't pay your utilities. I say dishonorable way of doing things
yeah,
by that, but you got to go with your gut. But bear in mind, anything you do, every action has a consequence.
mm,
And if you're not prepared to take responsibility for your actions, you
yeah,
should not be doing any of this in
yeah,
the first place.
yeah. Yeah, because the thing is I've never refused to pay for anything. I'm
Exactly.
simply questioning
Yep.
what they're doing is
Mhm.
I think it's just a normal thing to do. So let's say you come here, knock on my door, and you say to me, "Oh, I want you, can you give me £1,000?" And I'm like, "What?
Mm.
Why? Why do you want £1,000, Andy?
Oh, yeah,
In the other way
because you owe it to me.
around.
Do you know
Okay,
what I mean?
prove if there
Yeah.
comes again, prove it. Or, someone comes and knock on your door and asks for your to confirm if it's
Mm,
you, Andy. Um, who the hell are you to asking me personal questions?
exactly. Exactly. Sorry, do I know you? Why would I give you my personal private information?
Yeah.
If you want my private information, it's going to cost you £100,000.
Exactly. Yeah. My mother phones me up before she comes home to make sure that I'm here, obviously.
Yeah.
And some debt collector thinks that he can just walk into my house and take my stuff. I'm still waiting for him, by the way.
Well, Marston's are sitting on, I'm sitting on a judgment against Marston's at the moment for 256,725 pence. Now, I could
Oh,
go for the monetary value if I want to, but to go through the court system, it cost me £10,000 to do that. This is where going through the statutory demand route can be expensive. So I'm going down the road of a winding up order against Marston's. So because they failed to pay the 256,000, they haven't defended, they haven't put their defence in. I have a right to file a winding up order of £180 against Marston's, and then the court will decide if they're going to go ahead and close them down. This is the power we have. This is
yeah.
what people don't realise. Every company that does things to you, you can do exactly the same
Mhm.
back. It's just the two entities talking to each other. As a
Yeah.
living man, when we sit there and have a laugh, like you say, you want things to have a bit of fun with. And this is how it should be. You should be able to have fun with this because the name is not you. You've never had permission to use that bloody name in the first place. So why use it on your day-to-day life?
Yeah. I'm laughing at the beginning when I started this journey. I was a little bit anxious, I must admit.
Yeah, of
Sometimes I
course we are.
still am. But
Mhm.
when I read their letters and I'm like, oh, seriously, seriously, try something else to scare me off with.
I know. It's great. I love it. I love the daily confrontations. I mean, this morning I was doing some talking to someone this morning, and I love the guy. I thought, shall I put my no, I won't put my wording in there because they might not understand it.
Yeah. Another thing I was going to ask you is what is, and I've been wondering actually, and I found information online, but it's just so difficult to understand.
Hmm.
What is the difference between legislation, law, guidelines, and also the difference between lawful and legal?
Lawful's for the living man or woman, legal's for the entity. That's the simplest way I put it. So if we break the law or God's law, whatever, cause harm or cause loss to any other man or woman, we deserve to be punished. If
Right.
you look at the charge sheets for the police, there's like 150, 160, I don't know the actual number, there's about 100, over 150 different charges you can be done for. Out of those, there's only seven that apply to law, which is cause harm and loss,
Yeah.
manslaughter, grievous bodily harm, fraud. Do you know what I mean? The rest are all corporation. They're all administration charges, I look at it.
Right.
So that's the way it works. So legislation is for the person.
Right.
Statute is basically based on the word statue for those who stand still. And obviously, guidelines are just that. They're
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
you
Like
don't have to follow them. You choose.
the
It's
COVID
consent.
guidelines. That's why I said to people, that's why we had fines back in the day because they couldn't arrest you.
No, it's like last night. The plumber came round to look at Jen's water leak she's got, and he parked just outside the house, which there's a zigzag line for the pedestrian crossing,
Mm.
which is um, controlled by lights. So anyway, this copper comes up. It says 3 points, £100. He said, "What for?" He said, "Park on a zigzag." So we're doing everybody now. And so the guy said, "Well, I'll move my van." No, no, no. You got about 3 points, £100, five park on a zigzag. He said, "I'm here on emergency," which it was. He said, "Well, okay." And he was a PCSO, the plastic police who got up with no real power, but they just
Right.
collect the fines.
Oh, right.
Um,
Right.
and then the policewoman came along and she said, "What's going on?" And this guy said, "Quite right." He said, "I'm being fined for attending an emergency call out." And she went, "Oh, okay, that's fine. Just carry on." So it's again, you can see how she's listening to what the man was saying and made a judgment. Well, yeah, it's fine, carry on. Whereas he was acting as a corporation, stating, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just going to write you a fine and you're going to have 3 points."
Oh God, I look forward to having a car and dealing with the schmucks. God, I'm gonna have so much fun.
It, this the whole process can be as much fun as you want it to be, but you've got to look. You mentioned it earlier. It's the fear.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, even when started doing this, the fear I had inside me and the anxiety constantly. Who's going to come to my door next? Oh, someone's at my door.
Yeah.
Oh my God, who is it? Oh, it's just a postman. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that
Yeah.
mentality. But when you do that mindset switch, I know you've done it, is realizing you are a living being. You're not a human. You're a living being who has inalienable rights to whatever you do, as long as you cause no harm and loss. You can do what you want. So it's that mindset switch. But a lot of people just don't realize they've got to do
Yeah.
the work on themselves
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
just want that. Give me the answer, give me the answer, give me the answer. And the emails I get on a daily basis, I need to get out of this. Classic one, I had one the other day, yesterday. Guy messaged me, said, "I've just been done for speeding." He said, "Can you get me out of it?" I said, "How fast were you going?" He said, 85 in a 60. I went, "Absolutely not." I said, "You
Oh,
are in charge of a dangerous
man.
weapon.
Yeah.
You could cause harm and death with that." I said, "I'm not going to touch it with a barge
Yeah.
pole."
Yeah.
If it had been a speed camera doing them at, say, 53 and a 50, yes, because I know the way the system works. I know that's illegal. You can't do that because those cameras need to be on a level playing field. That's one of the sayings in the Interpretations Act for speed and distance must be measured on a flat horizontal plane. But they don't. They just, it's cambered. It's whatever. We've got 9 minutes left to see that one.
Yeah.
Um, that's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got 10 minutes. We'll carry on later. But anyway,
Yeah.
I didn't know that about the cameras, by the way.
Yeah, in the Interpretations Act, the way it sits in there, there's an article, I can't remember the paragraph on it, but this talks about distance and speed. And it does state for this to be relevant, it must be measured on a flat, horizontal plane.
Right.
9 times out of 10, those cameras are at an angle. They're
Yeah.
pointing
Yeah.
downwards.
Yeah.
They're not behind you. They're not flat behind you. And the road's cambered, so that's not flat, because it's me. Flat is level. Cambered, or there's a corner, or there's a slight hill. So you, when you're getting done by a speed van and he's sitting on top of a hill, you'll come up the hill. That's not flat level playing field. Sorry. And I go back to the police and ask them a question. According to your own standards, you put a thing that you say is 10% plus two for speeding. So why are you now reducing it to 3 when it should be 7? And they go, whatever. But the ideal thing is take them to get it all the way through to the court and then ask the court for the evidence and for the witness to attend.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
this,
yeah.
I'd love to cross examine a camera. Be fun.
I had no idea this is how it worked. Yeah. Interesting. Very
It's
interesting. The
it's
thing is,
knowing. Go on.
uh, isn't it? Because when you record someone with camera, you need to have their consent.
Hmm.
So is this applied for speeding cameras?
No, because they're not really capturing the person inside the vehicle. They're
Oh, I
capturing the
see.
vehicle, the number plate. That's all it is. That's the way I see it. But yeah, it it's madness. How everything's just there for money now. And
Oh
as I've
my
put it
God.
before, the police are just pirates of the Caribbean. They're all
Oh,
dressed in black. They're
I'm so
navigating the
disappointed.
shipping lanes.
I'm so disappointed with the authorities. I had so much respect for police officers, fire brigade, ambulance, and all that. But since COVID happened, it's just so much truth came out. Ugly
Mm,
truth came out.
mm.
When I see police officers now walking around, I feel anxious. I'm thinking, are they going to do something to someone? Are they going to abuse power?
Most probably they will, because they're just revenue protection officers now. That's all they really are. They just want money. They're
Yeah,
told to go out do it. They follow a script. They're robotic. That's all they are.
yeah, they don't serve the public. They serve political agenda. It's what I always say about them.
No, and
They say,
it is still policing by consent, and it goes down to the same old question. Do you
yeah,
have your warrant card on you?
yeah,
If he's got his warrant card, he's no longer an officer, he's a constable, and he's liable for any damages or harm that comes to you. So the way I look at it is this, and they work for you. So
yeah,
I'm running a bit late. Could you just give me an escort to where I'm going, please? Because they work for you.
yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah. And also, as far as I know, they can't enter even the police can't enter your house without your consent or without a warrant.
Correct. They can, from what I understand, they can enter your home if there's a fear of life. So if
Oh,
they
right.
fear there's someone's being beaten or someone's could die in that property from what they're hearing, then
Yeah,
yes, they can. I mean, they show it in the TV. Says, "Oh, did you hear that? Sounds like someone screaming for help." There wasn't. That's how they get around it. They all say,
yeah.
"Yeah, I heard it too." So they back each other up because the truth can only be spoken out of the mouths of two or more good men. So if two of them agree, that's the truth.
Oh, that's cheeky. That's very cheeky. And
Yeah,
also, I've heard that, when they ask you, for example, do you understand? Is what they mean by that is it's a game of words. Do you stand under me? So if you say no, there's nothing they can do about it. Is that true?
correct.
Oh,
But I
right.
don't even get to that point. I just say, when they say, "Do you?" I said, "Who you talking to?"
Yeah.
And they say, "Well, I'm talking to you." Sorry, there's no one in this car called you.
Yeah,
Who
exactly. Yeah.
because you is plural. Again, it's a play on
Yeah.
words, so that
Yeah.
you is a sheep, as we all know. So they class you
Yeah.
as a sheep. So therefore,
Yeah.
you'll be docile and you'll do as you're told. But when
Yeah.
you go, so who do you keep referring to this you person? I don't know who you're talking to.
Yeah, yeah. And that actually makes me think of the letters, that says new occupier or the legal owner or legal occupier. They've changed it now, trying to scare. And that's something you taught me. My name is not the occupier.
Hmm?
So
Exactly.
who is
And
this
I'm not prepared. I'm
occupier?
not prepared to give you my private information.
Yeah,
So go away.
yeah,
And excuse me,
exactly.
you're talking an occupier. Well, what war are we currently in at the moment? I
Yeah,
don't see an occupying force in my house.
yeah. Oh God. Right.
It can be very mind blowing. I'm down in Chiswick in London on Friday to do a talk. And I know there'll be a lot of blown minds, even though a lot of people going down the road are following these sovereignty bloody groups and all this lot, which are very good. They have process, don't get me wrong, but you don't need all this paperwork. You really don't. You don't need to change your status correction. You don't need to do that.
Mhm. Make it
Because,
simple. Simplicity
yeah,
works better. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because what
yeah,
they do is this is something else you taught me and you made me realize is they send you a lot of letters because they're trying to distract you from the real problem, which is they have no legal stand.
no, everything's an offer.
Yeah,
How you deal with it's entirely up to you.
yeah,
I personally would never send anything back unanswered because that's the way I work. Because I look at the contracts. If someone's making an offer, it's courteous just to respond to it. Thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
And we just need to say no a lot more, really.
That's it. Yeah, I agree with you. I actually recorded a video some time ago. What is it called? The Art of Saying No. It's not
Hmm.
difficult. You know, it takes practice. At the beginning is difficult, by the way. It takes
Yeah.
practice, but you know, it it's not impossible. If I
No,
can
it's
do
not.
it, everybody else can do it. Bear in mind, English is not my first language, so I could easily sit up for myself and open my gigantic mouth and say it as it is. So that means that everybody else can stand up for themselves.
Hmm? You don't need groups of people to back you up. You don't need all these so-called, what they call us, peacekeepers, whatever they call it. Oh, we're going to go fight for your rights. I'm sorry, if you don't know your rights, you haven't done it in the first place. So why are you fighting for something that you don't know about? So I would say, if anyone comes to your door, you are under no obligation to talk to them.
Yeah,
You don't even have to open the door. The Englishman's home is his castle. That still stands. So you have no right, and no one can force, like you said, no one, even the police, cannot force entry into your house, only if there's fear of life
yeah.
or if fear of danger, i.e., utility companies can force entry if they believe there's a gas leak.
Right. Okay, that's fair enough. That's
That's
understandable.
what I turn around and say, excuse me, do you not think I'm adult enough to smell gas?
Yeah, true. Yeah,
So
yeah,
no, you're not coming in because there is no gas. Look, let me light a match and prove it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Call their bluff because that's all it is. It's a
yeah.
bluff.
Right. I've actually heard this on movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Everything's out there. It really is.
What film did I watch the other day? Independence Day. God, do you know
Uh-huh.
how many times I've seen this film? And in the last few times I've seen it, I'm thinking, God, how much of this is true?
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, what's the thing they're pushing for at the moment?
A lot of things. I suppose the digital ID, I guess.
Civil
Uh,
War.
oh, Civil War. Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Yeah,
guess
yeah,
what? There's a
yeah.
big movie coming out end of March called Civil War.
Seriously.
Hmm.
Need to look into that.
Showing people how you stand up for your rights and take control of what's yours.
Yeah.
So basically, well, I all know this, and I'm sure a lot of people do as well. The minute you stand up and start fighting, that's when they take control because that's when they implement. That's when the police will turn around and say, "We have lost control."
Yes.
The military then on the streets, and what have they been
Yeah.
importing for the last 5, 10 years on the south coast of England every bloody day? Millions of men,
Yeah,
hardly any
yes.
women, children.
Yeah,
As
yeah,
Ricky Gervais put it on his new speech, "I've gone woke." I don't know if you've seen that.
yeah. No, I
He's,
haven't though.
it's on Netflix. Yes, I do watch Netflix. And he starts off, he said, "I've gone woke." He said, "I go down to Dover every day now." And I said, "Women and children first." "Oh, it's just you young lads." "Okay, come on in, lads." He's telling it as it is. And he said, and sometimes when it's rough, there's no boats. So I look under the lorries. See a lad. "Oh, hello, lads. Where are you going to?" "Gary Lineker says, just stop there on the left." But he's telling people,
Oh,
he's
that would
waking
be
people up
nice.
to it.
Yeah, yeah. And he's using humor to do it. Right, we're running out of time.
Okay.
Let's join the other link.
Okie dokie. No worries. I'll jump off this one
Recording again. Recording in progress. Right. So what we would, oh yeah, Ricky Gervais. Yeah, I like that he presents his information in a funny way. And also I must mention his speech at the Grammy Awards. That was absolutely
now.
brilliant.
Genius.
Yeah, and you look at the faces of all the Hollywood celebrities. Oh my God, how guilty are you, you bastards? Oh,
But
yeah.
again, I, I feel a huge shift in everything that's going on at the moment,
Yeah, yeah.
where so many people are still focusing on that. They're still focusing on the fear porn. And
Mm,
I get it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not dissing anybody for this. When they say save the children, save the children. My answer to that one is you can't save the children because you gave them away with your birth certificate. So stop using the word children. Say young ones, whatever. So that's arguing that one. But then I go down the road and say, where's the evidence? Everybody's making these wild accusations and claims. I say, show me the evidence. They say, well, it's on videos. Well, the truth can
yeah,
only be
have you seen it
seen
with
with
your
thine own eyes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
That's
can't
why I
believe
say to
anything
people,
you see
yeah,
on TV or videos. You can't.
when someone is trying to argue with me about you know the most one of the most famous arguments in human history is what's the shape of planet Earth. Well, When I see it with my own eyes, I'll be able to tell you. Until then, I don't
Exactly.
care.
Exactly. I mean, I have my views. I don't push them on other people. But at the end
Yeah,
of the day,
yeah,
like you say, until I actually get to see it myself,
yeah.
how's it going to affect my life? It's not. Will it change my life? No.
No,
Just
no.
means I can go beyond Antarctica if I want to. Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah. I would love that,
But
by the way. I would love
yeah,
that.
I'd love to see what happens actually out there. Oh, sorry, am I talking flat Earth right now? I don't know. But
Oh,
but again, the clues are in Scripture,
yeah,
in the
yeah,
Bible. It
yeah.
tells you what it is. I mean, people say, yeah, but that's religious. No, 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 no. The Bible's just a book on commerce. It tells you how to run your life. That's all it is. It's just an instruction manual. That's where I look at the Bible.
Well, I personally, I'm not a religious woman.
Not me.
I am very spiritual, however, and I
Hmm.
don't personally believe in the Bible that we have now.
No,
I'm
it's
pretty
been.
sure it's been rewritten to manipulate us and to brainwash us and blah blah blah.
Hmm.
I would love to get my hands on the original Bible if there is such thing. I assume it's somewhere hidden under the Vatican.
I've got a copy of the one of the first Bibles, AD 144.
Oh right.
Um, so I've got that. That's going up on the community. I'll send you a link to it. It's fascinating to read it.
Well, I remember when I was a child, we had to read the Bible for school, and I borrowed the Bible from one of my friend's grandmother. And do you know the
Hmm.
Bible these days is sort of that thick or something?
Yeah,
Her was like a
yeah.
brick.
Well, when you think they took loads of books out of it, because the Book of Enoch was in there, they took
Yeah,
that out.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
loads of things they took out. I mean, you think there was, oh, some did say it's hundreds of different books inside the Bible, whereas now there's only like 47 or 48
Mm,
books in there now. So they
yeah.
took hundreds out. It was over 600 books that was originally in the Bible. And when you
And
think a Bible is just a collection of stories, that's all it
yeah,
really is.
exactly. Yeah. And also, in my opinion, they've used the Bible, the modern Bible, to suppress the
Hmm.
feminine, divine feminine energy. Perfect example is I forgot her name now. That she was married to Jesus.
Oh, Mary Magdalene.
Mary Magdalene, yeah, it was that, yeah, Mary Magdalene. As far from my research, because I read a lot about essential oils, she
Hmm.
was a very famous healer back in the day,
Yeah.
using essential oils. And obviously back in the day, people did use essential oils and herbs, you know. It's funny as how this may sound, it survived for a long time. Um, so yeah, the Bible going to I mean organized religion is not something, it's again another tool that it's like watching the news.
Well, religion, when you look at the etymology of religion, it comes from the word religion, which came from the Romans
Okay.
when their ranks were destroyed, where they had to religion themselves up to more men. So they
Right.
go around the towns and pick men and women where and come to fight for us. But then the Jesuit order picked up on that one, and that's when they classed it as religion. So the Jesuit order created. I haven't got evidence on this, so this is just the way I've read it and researched it. The Jesuit order created the religions, i.e., Catholicism, Christianity. They created it all to create division. This is what it's all about. The
Yeah, yeah,
Jesuit
yeah,
order
yeah,
runs the world and they create division. So I'm not religious in any way, shape, or form, but I do look at the Bible now and I do look at scripture because there's so many words in there. I've now got a document that shows you how the legal system uses scripture against us. A lot of
yeah,
people talk about legalese. No, no, no. This is scripture. This is more powerful than legalese. So this is where they'll go behind the scenes and work out things against you as the individual and how they're going to do you under the Bible.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we need to learn a lot more. We need to unlearn loads still and learn
Yeah,
a lot
can
more.
you imagine how much knowledge we're lacking? And that's again, that's done on purpose because I mean,
Mhm.
I'm hoping to be blessed as a child one day. I'm not sending my child to school.
Exactly.
Because they don't teach them their rights, first of all. They don't teach you how to build a house, how to grow
Nope.
your own food. They don't
Nope.
This is done on purpose.
Yeah, it's down to the Matrix and other films that we are just bred as slaves of energy. They drain our energy from us. That's what they want to do.
Yeah.
And it is when you think the Matrix is a documentary.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
we're actually currently in the Skynet phase of
Mm,
Terminator. That's where I
yeah,
think we are.
yeah, yeah.
Whereas AI is now taking control.
Yeah, I I think last year I realized the Terminator, why the Terminator wants to kill John Connor because he's a threat to Skynet. And you have this light bulb moment. And I thought, oh my God, really? This film's been around for so many years, and I've never seen the meaning behind the film.
It's also linked to the Matrix films.
Yeah, 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 of course, yeah. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
that.
because in the Matrix 4 at the end they talk about John Connor.
Mm,
So I think he's like grandfather or great grandfather or something of Neo or
yeah,
something like that. So
yeah, yeah.
that's how it all started. But it
Um,
is. I mean, when you see in the Matrix the pods and they've taken the pods of young ones out.
yes, yeah,
What are they doing now? They're now creating pods where people have babies artificially.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
boom, hello.
I would rather give birth in a cave than in a hospital.
Mm,
I mean, how women did it back in the day, before hospitals, before Big Pharma took over.
exactly, exactly. Your neighbours came around and helped,
Yeah, exactly.
and and
Yeah,
and you didn't need anyone to come to cut the placenta because the placenta would drop off on its own.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So you didn't have that. I mean, there's images around. There's a group on Telegram I follow, Cruel History, and it shows a lot of the original pictures of mums walking around with the baby, but they got another bag with the placenta still stuck in it
Mm,
because the placenta's still attached and it'll drop
yeah,
off when it needs to.
yeah, 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 yeah. I don't like the whole idea of cutting. It's
Severing.
just, yeah, no. So something you and I have mentioned before, and I think we need to touch on that is that the so-called truth
Uh-oh.
community. I don't like, that kind of. I don't like the terms.
Do you really want to go there?
But oh yeah, I do. It has been infiltrated. Because when I started my journey, I trusted a lot of people online, and I think it
Same.
was it was for a reason for me to learn not to trust
Hmm.
anybody. And also I joined so many groups on Facebook,
Hmm.
about council tax and TV
Yeah.
license, blah blah blah. But what we don't realize is that when we share on Facebook what we do, the enemy can also see what we do.
Hmm. Hmm.
And also a lot of people take advantage of, poor innocent people to get more money from them, which is disgusting, by the way.
Mm.
But karma is a bitch. Don't forget,
Oh
people.
yeah. Karma's what's I put on Facebook the other day? I put a post up. Karma is a patient gangster.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought,
oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's just, uh, what is wrong with these people? How damaged do you have to be? I mean, we are damaged souls in general because of all the brainwashing that we've been experienced over the years. But how damaged do you have to be to take advantage of innocent people who are trying to better themselves somehow in the
I
world?
don't know if it's damaged. I think it's just the fact they are still part of the system themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
I look at it. I mean, I could name and shame quite a few on here, but I'm not going to. Sorry, because I think that's just wrong because they're not here to defend themselves.
Yeah.
But there are there are people out there. I mean, oh God, where do I go?
Because I
I've
assume
I've
you,
come across so many.
yeah, exactly. And a friend of mine, he also because he was doing a lot of let's say truthful work. Well, he still is in London, and
Hmm.
he also, said that they don't actually they don't they're still part of the system mentally. They're trying to wake people up, but they're doing it the wrong way. They still exist in their ego mind. So
Mm,
their intention don't come out from their heart chakra. It comes from their ego mind.
yeah, and this is the battle between ego and consciousness.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But for me, I mean, the truth movement. I mean, I was part of it. I stick my hand up and say I made mistakes. I made loads of mistakes on my journey. I followed these, as I don't call them big names, I call them big egos in the movement. People are out there just to fleece you for your money.
Yeah.
Give me £5,000, I'll eliminate your mortgage. First question to ask is, what's your evidence?
Yeah, how are you
Have you
gonna do that? Exactly, yeah.
exactly? I mean, there's a guy out there, and I'm going to use quotes from Simon Spanier, which is very true. There's a guy out there who likes to stamp his feet. People know I'm talking about. Who's taken millions of pounds from people, and he's never delivered anything. He's delivered no successful process. Someone shared me their UCC1 filing that they did with this company, and they've done it completely the wrong way around. This guy paid £2,500 for something that he could have done himself for 50 quid, and it's completely wrong. He's just wasted a lot of money.
Oh
But
my
it's not
God.
just them. There's other groups. There's people who try to be good. Um, another. Another drop in there. If you try to be good, telling people to change their meters, don't worry about just change meters. But we're now dealing with people in the community group who followed their teachings, who've now had their gas and electricity cut off, dug up from the road, so they cannot reconnect
Oh,
because in the road it's public. Yeah, these groups. And when she contacted well, when she and many others have contacted this guy from Good, he turned around and said, "Oh well, you took it, you did what we said, but it's not our fault if it went wrong." And this one of this, because we're dealing with it with British Gas at the moment, is she's been without gas and electric for over 9 months. And British Gas want over £10,000 to reconnect.
what?
This is what the people don't know what's going on in the truth community. There are groups out there telling you to do things. And because you're still living in the fear or you just think this is a good idea, remember, a turd is still a turd, even if it's rolled in gold. So
Mm,
just because someone says this is wonderful, you really do have to use your discernment. You've got to do your own due diligence. Because if you don't do your due diligence, then you're asking for this.
yeah.
You've told the universe, I want this, and the
Yeah,
universe
yeah, yeah.
will deliver.
Yeah.
So if someone says to you, change your meters, you don't have to pay electric and gas. Okay, prove that. Everyone says gas and electric's free. Yeah, it's free. Of course it's free. But have you harnessed it yourself? Have you connected your own electricity
Yeah.
supply from the ether? Have you dug out a gas pocket for yourself? No. So it's not free at the point of entry into your building. So I say to people, you should be paying the standing charge minimum
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because that's for the upkeep, and then deal with them because these so-called providers are not providers. They are just
Yes.
unlicensed credit brokers.
Mm,
So they get you to buy something that they're not actually selling.
yeah.
So they buy a license for the postcode area and say, we are the providers, but they're not. They're just
No.
billing agents. We know that. So you have to deal with them separately.
Yeah, yeah. I've asked them, I think it was my mom's supplier.
Mm.
I've asked them to, confirm to provide evidence that they supply gas and electric, and also that they have that there is a law that says that my mom needs to continue contract with them or whatever it was, and they put the phone down on me.
Exactly. It's a question I put in there, two questions. You claim to be a provider and supplier of energy. Prove it. Simple as that. And you claim that the electricity and gas supply is coming from your buildings. Prove it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we know the national grid are responsible for everything. They put the pipes and the cabling in, and it free flows through up to the point of the meter. And
Yeah,
it's the meter that's the charging point. So what
yeah.
happens if we didn't have meters?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, what's happened? Yeah, but I've said this to you before. I don't know if it's still the case, but a year or two ago, I had a look on National Grid website, and there was actually £20 charge for upkeep. I think this is what you were
Hmm.
talking about. I don't
Hmm.
know if the information is still available,
Yeah,
but
that was Northwestern Power Grid.
oh right,
They
okay.
they they put it on they took it down pretty quickly once they realized what they'd done. I think it was like £26.33 a month
Yeah, it was a silly, silly,
is the
silly
cost to
cost.
deliver gas and electricity to your home.
Yeah, which is, I'm more than happy to pay a small fee, but the way that the prices are going up, it's like, why am I,
The
why?
prices get okay. Let's break that down. These billing providers are responsible for the payment of gas and electric at the point of the meter.
Right.
Okay, everything up to the meter they're responsible for, so they have to pay that on a daily basis. Okay, so whoever they're paying it to, I don't know who it is. It might be National Grid, it could be someone else. I don't know. Most probably the government. Then the meter's installed, so they ask you to do a meter reading. So you've just contracted by doing a meter reading, so therefore you have created a contract, whether you like it or not. So that is where they charge. This is why they're making billions
Mhm.
because of these unlicensed credit brokers that we've all agreed to in the past. They go and securitize it, they sell them or whatever, and that's how they make their money. Because I look at it this way: if National Grid it costs say 50 quid, say £50 a month to get gas and electric to the point of the meter, why is it suddenly so much more expensive to go through the meter?
Good point.
So ask
Yeah.
the question: if it costs 50 quid to get to the meter, then sorry, I'll just say I don't think this will work, but why do I have to have a meter? Because that's where you come in because you're the billing agent and you just want to charge us something. So
Yeah.
that's how you make. So everything they charge is pure profit, 100% pure profit.
Okay, so let's say, what if I remove the meter then?
That's an area I don't know about, and I'm going to be
Right.
honest on that one.
Because
because
logically, if the meter is what they use as an excuse to charge more money, if you remove the meter, they have no excuse to charge you money.
I'd have to look into the Meter Act and have a read through that one. There's an act for meters that came into when they realized they could charge people money for stuff that was technically they didn't have to be paid charged for.
I can look into this myself. It's yeah, I think it's a
Looking, I think it's a gas meter act. Have a look into that one and see
right,
what it says,
right.
because that's where we need to do research. But this
Yeah.
is another thing that annoys me about the truth is people aren't prepared to put the work in themselves.
Yes. They
People
expect
just want
someone to
answer.
give
Yeah,
to
yeah.
give them the
Give me the
solution.
answer. Give me the answer.
Well, this is again, this comes down to the programming in the matrix, the convenience. You know, you
Yeah,
want food, you go to the shop. You want a job, you
yeah,
go to an employer. You want money, you
yeah,
go to the bank. You're not, you don't, we don't do much, we just don't do much. And the system used this against us.
yeah. They have, but people need to realize that nothing out there's free. Well, it is free. Maybe that's wrong. Everything you want in life is free if you want to. If you want to research and you do all your own research, yeah, go and do it. But when people come and say, "Oh, I need this for, I need this, I need to get out of this," I go, "Well, why? Why do you want to get out of it? Why do you want to stop paying for something that legally you have to pay for it?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
Because I wanna, I wanna live off the grid and I wanna separate from the
of
system, but not 100%, because there are some benefits,
course there are.
internet, for example. If it wasn't for the internet, I would never have learned so many things. I never would have, met you and gained so much knowledge. And internet is good for business, for example.
Mhm.
So, there is a dark side of it, but, just don't go there.
Exactly. I mean, this is how it all works. We have inalienable rights. We can do whatever we want, grow our own food, whatever. But we give away those rights for those benefits, purely that. So you want to drive on the roads, okay? So therefore you have a driving license. You want to go away on holiday, you have to have a passport. When people moan about all these private jets turning up at Davos, I sit there and laugh at them. They say, "Why are you laughing?" I said, "Because they know how to travel in the private.
Yeah,
It's as simple as that. Private jet, remember, it's in the word private.
yeah,
Private jet lands at private airfield, no customs, no passport control, no border control, and it states we do not have borders. It's a private man or woman. So if you want to travel privately.
yeah,
Don't expect to travel privately on a public body like British Airways or
yeah,
Ryanair or something like that.
yeah,
It
yeah.
just won't work.
That's logical. Yeah, I haven't thought about that. Yeah, actually, the name says, oh, private.
You're traveling in a
Yeah.
private hire
Again,
taxi.
they actually tell you,
Hmm.
but we don't listen.
But we're word blind to
Yeah.
certain things.
Yeah.
That's all it really is.
Yeah, people are waking up. I must say, I think I've got this feeling that if 4 years ago, when I talked to someone about, the Matrix, and, I was called all names under the sun. Now they look at me with, there is this curiosity in people's eyes. I plant the seed and they take it away. And people are thinking about it, that they're starting to realize something's not right. And because I mostly people talk to people who work 9 to 5 jobs,
Hmm.
and they don't want to do it anymore. I know I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah,
I know my time is coming to an end. Um, because it's just, you give your energy away for the fun of it, pretty much.
exactly. Yeah. You give your energy away for the benefits and privileges they give in this society.
Yeah, and the thing is, you don't need, I can have a lot more abundance if I focus all my energy on me.
Hmm.
And this is what people need to understand, is that you don't need them, they need you more than you need
Correct.
them. Yeah.
I
Uh,
mean, when I stepped away from society, when I gave up my house, gave up my job, and just moved into a van, it's the most liberating thing I've ever done.
yeah.
To be able to just say, I can go where I want, do what I want. Yes, I'm still using their system, he's using their benefits and privileges, but I was mobile. I just thought, this is great. And now we're looking at raising money to build the community out in Spain because land is so cheap
I
and it's
know,
private.
I know, and I would, because I looked into buying land. Well, I was just researching really, Portugal and
Hmm.
Italy, because I love Italy, for example.
Yeah.
But I've heard about Spain as well, and I love England, by the way.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
I love England. Yeah, I want to live here, but I don't. I want to have a piece of land. I don't want to have any neighbors, and I feel like
Mm.
this it's very difficult to achieve this here.
Yeah.
I want my
You,
child to run barefoot outside in the garden, you know. I wanna I want to and you know, this is very intimate, but I want to make love to my husband under the stars.
you you
It's
can't.
just
This is where it's going to fall down in this country because price
yeah,
of land is so expensive.
yeah, yeah.
You could look at something like adverse repossession and do that process on abandoned land. But the way we're looking at it is where we think of in Spain, you're looking at 10 acres of land for about 9,000 euros. Um, yeah. And if we can raise that money, we will go and purchase land and we will build a community where anyone's welcome to come out and stay. Because that sort of land, you can have caravans on it. You can't have fixed houses or fixed mobile homes or anything like that. It has to be mobile. Um, and they're now giving you, say, within 5 years, these caravans have to move. So you just move to another terrace
Yeah.
or you move to another area and then you get around the way. But we're just looking at that because it's not expensive to get out there. I mean, when you think if you want to fly out there, fly out there. If you want, we drive down, we go from New Haven to Dieppe, Dieppe down to Spain in the van. And we take it for 3 or 4 days to get there. But once you're there, you're on the land. It is private land. Not even the Guardia Civil, the military police of Spain, have permission to come onto your land without consent. And they will stand at the gates or the entrance to your land and they will ask for permission. If you don't
Right.
consent it, they have to go away. They can only come on
Yeah.
your land if invited.
Mm.
Just like vampires, they can't come in unless you're invited.
Yeah, true. And bad energies. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that sounds really good. Yeah, that sounds really good, Andy. So, is there anything you want to talk about? Don't know how much time we have left, to be honest.
I've got no idea. How long? Hold on a minute, mate. We're at 11 o'clock, so um, no, not really. I mean, I suppose for me, it's just saying to people, look, there's help out there that's not going to cost you a fortune. There are
Mhm.
ways to do a lot of this without costing you a fortune. But you've got to start by knowing you inside. Who are you? Because if you don't know you are not the name, then you're constantly going to be battling with your ego all the time. Once you can never lose your ego. I always say you cannot just get rid of your ego because your ego protects you.
Mhm.
It's your fight, flight, and fright moment. It's one of those.
You step away from it,
Yeah,
to
you
say.
put it in the corner where it stays until you need it. But the ego will try and take over if you're in fear because yeah, that's where they want you. That's
Yeah.
one of the lowest vibrations. I mean, if you ever look at the scale, I mean, you know the scale of enlightenment and everything. You need to be up into the realms of love and
Yeah.
compassion and all this lot. But then you go through the phase, you go through that phase of fear, turns into anger. I think you've heard this before, turns into anger, and you get really angry at society. Why have they done this to us? And I'd say to them, well, turn that anger in your belly
Yeah.
into fire.
Yeah.
Fire can destroy and fire can rebuild. So turn it into the rebuild and turn that fire into love. And when it comes into love, you see the whole world with different eyes
Yeah.
because everything's just so different. I walk around, look at everybody, and just by saying hello, waving to someone, you activate them.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm like that. Yeah, I smile at people for no reason whatsoever, and you know they smile back, and we
Yeah,
exchange positive energy this way. Yeah,
exactly.
we
And that,
lift the
but
vibration.
so many people are governed by these. Sorry, oh my God, I'm back at these Black
Yeah.
Mirrors
Ugh,
phones.
no.
They're all looking down.
Yeah,
So
like
if you
zombies.
can get someone to say hello and smile, you've made their day. Because they go, oh, someone's actually when I'm driving around the van around here, I always let people out trying to get out of the roads, and people queue up behind me, they're hitting the horns. I go, I don't care. They've been sat there for almost like 5, 10 minutes,
Yeah,
and no one's had the manners to let them outside. Just please come out.
yeah.
And again, it's just think at the most I think that's nice of them. And then I see them down the road, they're letting someone else out because they realise that the fact this is a nice thing to do, and then someone waves and smiles at them.
Mm.
We've lost that. We've lost that in
Yeah, I
society.
know, I know, I know. Yeah, it's quite sad. And also, I'd like to add here, I'm a perfect example that you can achieve things by stepping away from fear, because fear is part of us, I suppose. You can't just
Yeah.
remove it from yourself, but it is possible. But if you don't change your mindset, it's just not going to work.
And that's what it all is. Know that you are a living man or woman. You're not the name on the birth certificate. Simple as that.
Yeah,
And when people say, "Oh, I had this letter through the postbox, I'm really scared." Why? Whose name's on it? Oh, it belongs to the Crown. Send it back. If you don't feel comfortable to do with it, just send it back
yeah,
or just ignore it. because that's where you start building up a lot of your confidence is by actually saying, no, I'm going to open it. And so I always say to people,
Yeah.
if you don't like it, send it back.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't agree with
exactly.
that,
Yeah.
but open it. What are you scared of?
Mm.
Scared of what's going to be in it? I said, well, you're scared of the dark. So if you're scared of the dark, turn the light on.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
what you're going to do. Turn your light on and read it with fresh eyes
Yeah, yeah.
and look at it not as a piece of darkness, but as a piece of light.
You know, I was thinking to I don't know how they call to put something on my mailbox so I don't get post from the don't get post because I've heard something that the stamp that they put on the letters is it's a postal fraud. Is that true?
Yeah, there's lots of talks about that. I don't give a toss about that, to be perfectly honest. You can put stuff on your letterbox to say private by appointment only.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I haven't thought about that. Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea.
It's simple. Do you know what I mean? It's a private post box then. Anything that
Yeah.
comes in that you've not asked for, are you going to charge it? Or are you just going to chuck it in the bin? Me,
Yeah.
I'll be sending invoices.
Oh yeah, that I need. I think I need to buy a printer to be honest, because I always go to my mom to print. But it's just so fun. So I love the response that I receive from these people. So they're angry at you can feel the anger in their letters. I'm just laughing my ass out.
Well, they under the new, I think it's Electronic Trades Act 2023. That's just come out. We can now use digital promissory notes, so we can now use digital things. So it's all in that act.
Oh, good, good. That will save me a lot
So
of time.
with us doing promissory notes at the moment, which with a lot of success, we're now thinking, okay, how do we draft up a digital promissory note? So we can test it. Lloyd's Bank were the first ones to accept a digital promissory note from another bank.
Oh, that's good.
So we're thinking of getting away from the paper-based promissory notes and
Yeah.
moving into digital because why not use the system that they've got?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's more convenient to people. I must admit, I mean, when I write letters to the authorities, it's so draining. I don't
Mm,
know how you do it, seriously. So, and what I've started doing is do a little bit every evening
yeah.
because it's just exhausting. God.
Mm. I mean, that's one thing I would like to mention is our promissory note process. A lot of people
Yeah.
have tried promissory notes. A lot of people have failed. I failed in the beginning multiple times, multiple times. Um, it took me 2.5 years to get to the point where we are now. But now we're seeing successes through agent revenue and customs. We're seeing success with banks. We're seeing success with bounce back loans, utilities. It's all started to kick off now, but because we now know they cannot refuse them if they're lawfully
Yeah,
presented.
yeah, exactly. Which is
So
why
we're
I don't
good success at
understand
the
why
moment.
my local council doesn't want them.
It's their right. I mean, at the end of the day, if they're a limited company, they have the right to turn around and say they're not accepting them because
Oh, right.
they can dictate what legal tender they wish to use. If it's a public body, which technically a council is, then they have to accept them. So
Right.
private companies, so like if I set up my own company, AB Limited, I could dictate how I want to be paid. Mondays is jelly beans, Tuesdays is peanuts, Wednesdays is
Yeah.
coffee. Do you know what I mean? So I can dictate my own terms of how I want to be paid.
Mm.
Same as what most companies do. But public companies, unless it stipulates in their terms and conditions, they do not accept promissory notes. And this is a word stipulation because if it's not expressly stipulated, it means they are included.
Right.
So if they've not excluded it, it means it's included.
Okay, so if people are willing to learn the process, how can they do that?
They just want to drop me an email. I can set them up what we need, what we're going through. We're running a 6 week course at the moment for people. It's something I think is beneficial. A lot of the people on it have absolutely blown away with it. It's phenomenal. So it's something I'm rolling out regularly now, these courses, where you come on for a 6 week course, you don't get access to any templates, you don't get access to anything until you've done the course.
Right.
Because this is a dangerous financial instrument
Mm.
that can save you hundreds of thousands of pounds, but it's dangerous in the wrong hands. All I
Yeah,
say is look up the name Winston Shrout.
Winston Shroud.
Just look him Shrout, Shrout. Just look him up and you'll see for yourself what happened to him. I think he's still in a federal max prison.
Oh, I think you've mentioned about him before.
He was doing very well with promissory notes, but he got greedy. He started doing stuff for himself and then he
Positive
got
and
caught.
tax fraud promoter captured. Oh, yeah, you've talked about him before. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
there's
the
a few
thing.
others. Yeah.
Don't get greedy, people, because karma is a bitch.
The system will let you play their game. The
Yeah.
system will allow you to play it if you play it right. If you try and stick your head above the parapet and stick two fingers up and say, ha, I'm doing what I want now, they'll cut you off.
Yeah.
Simple as that. They'll
Yeah.
make life very difficult for you.
Mm. Right. I think that's the end of this
Okie dokie.
very, very pleasant and very informative video. I think, yeah, I think this is the third or the fourth video we record together, and
So,
it's every time
yeah,
it's very informative. That's all it is, knowledge. Knowledge is power, people. So
exactly.
thank you very much, Andy. I will
You're
include
most
your
welcome.
the link to your website when I post this video.
Okay,
So
thank you.
yeah, thank you. See you
No,
later.
thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.